This is how I take thumbnails. Do you guys like it? Hi my loves, welcome if you are new and welcome back if you are not. My name is Nadi and we are going to be discussing self-love and why you need it, right? And so this video, if you clicked on this, you have realized how important self-love is within your reality. You are realizing how love in general is very important in your physical reality. And so I wanted to create this video for those who are ready to start respecting themselves, loving themselves, or keep up the good work as you do so. Because I feel like summer is that season to just really dive into who you are, what you want, and make sure you're expressing yourself with ease. And so if you end up wanting to like this video or wanting to watch, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, turn on my post notifications so you don't miss out. Let's hop into it. So self-love is needed no matter what season you're in. It is self-love that allows us to transform in more ways than one, making sure we know that at the core of everything that we desire, whether it be material, spiritual, and emotional, it's always done with love. Self-love is the catalyst in which we deserve everything we desire, or I should say, receive our desires and get the motivation to initiate the transformation. And so how can we foster that, especially if we do not know what self-love is or how to tap into that? Why should we foster these things, right? And these questions are really why I started and cultivated my course that is launching this Friday called This Is My World, which is 6 weeks of self-love, confidence, and compassion. I created this course because I knew what it felt like to always be put last, especially by the person who matters most, which is yourself, right? I recognize that nothing can change unless I change internally, and change internally always starts with how much we love ourselves and how much we respect ourselves to initiate change, to transform our realm, to love ourselves in the ways that we desire. This Is My World really touches on all of these aspects in a way that is very easily digestible to whoever's joining this course. I've been working on it for the last month and a half, and it's been beautiful. I can't wait to dive into it. And so the first thing I want to discuss and talk about when it comes to self-love is why is it important, right? And that is actually what we're discussing the first week of our course. That is the introduction to it. Why self-love is important in our reality. And the first thing I always say is it helps us boost our self-esteem. It helps us get into a state where we can desire the things we want, because we know that if we, didn't desire a certain thing or didn't tap into a certain thing, we wouldn't have it. We wouldn't exist in it. You guys are right here. I'm looking right here. And so when your self-esteem is lifted, the only person who can bring it down is you. The only person who can stop it is you. You will now be in a state where you're controlling not only yourself, but you're controlling your desires, and you're controlling the people who are coming in and out in your life, whether they're disrupting it or making it better. And so that is one reason why self-love is extremely important. You get to decide how you live. No one else does. The next thing is you will learn how to be intentional, making sure you put yourself first in every single aspect of your life. And oftentimes this goes back to people pleasing. Oftentimes this goes back to, overextending ourselves when it's not called for, especially in those tough times, in those tough moments where we have to make those decisions that put us first over everyone else. And so when it comes to self-love and self-respect, you're going to feel less guilty about putting yourself first, because you know that if you do, everybody else around you is going to be fine. Everybody else around you is going to be good. If you can't love yourself in the ways that you desire, how can you expect to love anyone else? You're going to be treating them as you would treat yourself. Or sometimes you may treat people even better than you treat yourself, and that is not right. Because it's unsustainable. And so self-love is what is needed to sustain every single thing in our life, to be consistent with every single thing in our lives. And lastly, self-love is so important because the trust that you will have in yourself, because you're tapping into self-respect, self-love, self-compassion, self-guidance, will be unshakable. Your faith in yourself will be completely and utterly unbelievable, that it will be kind of surreal how easily and how transformative you create the life of your desires. People may envy you. People may, look up to you. People may become inspired by you, and you will automatically tap into this leadership position of your realm that other people are really going to want to cultivate, and it's because you are able to do it well, right? And so oftentimes when we start tapping into self-love and self-respect, people around us will feel it. They will feel that shift. They may be inspired to do themselves. They may be inspired to, get away from you, and that means you're clearing out people who do not belong. Self-love is that powerful. Love is that powerful. Love is so much in abundance, and that is why we need it. Okay. And so the first week of that course is really going to be touching on all of those aspects, and I actually have like homework for you guys that week where you guys are going to set some intentions, do some really nice work with it. Like, I'm excited for the first week of the course because it's going to be very chill, very relaxed. You're not going to be too stressed out, because the next following weeks, that's when we get into the nitty gritty, and that's when we get fun too, because I got some amazing things. But stay tuned for what it is. I remember when I used to not love myself. I used to enjoy toxicity. I used to have such a tough time setting boundaries. I had such a tough time with people pleasing and overextending myself and making people like control me in ways that I know I didn't deserve. And because of those energies, and because I didn't really love myself enough to set boundaries and have respect, I built resentment. I was miserable. My life sucked. And I'm gonna be completely honest, my life sucked. And I had to realize, wait a minute, I'm allowing this. In certain aspects, in certain situations, I'm allowing this. And the decisions and choices I make moving forward, it has to be done with love. It has to be done with compassion, because that is the only way I'm going to be able to break free of anything. And so, especially when I started my weight loss journey, I did not want to start it with shame and guilt and anger and anxiety. I wanted to start it with those themes that self-love exhibits, which is love, compassion, kindness, grace, patience. I wanted to start it with that energy. And so before I even, like months before I even did my weight loss journey, I was doing self-love rituals. I was telling myself I'm beautiful. I was telling myself, oh, you look so good. And so when I gained weight back, like as you can see, I clearly gained some weight. Like, I look really cute. I gained some weight. Once I gained it back, I did not stop the motion. It didn't stop anything, because I was still beautiful on the inside and on the outside. And so because I had that confidence and because I have that self-assurance, no matter if my weight fluctuates or my body change, I knew that my vessel was gorgeous, no matter what season in life it's in. And that is why self-love is so paramount, because you see all these fitness influencers, and I love a lot of them, but you see a lot of them and you see how they really focus on physical image and self-image, and my course is not really going to be focused on that, because this can change. So many things can happen to this. So many things can go right and so many things can go wrong with this. But if you have that internal capacity to love yourself no matter what season you're in, this changing does nothing to you but help you shine even brighter. It outshines what has happened in the past, right? You just keep getting better, better, and better, and better, right? And so that is what my course teaches. It teaches you how to love yourself, who you are. Teach you how to love yourself and who you are on a soul level rather than a physical level. And that's the difference between my course and a lot of other people's courses. And so when you have self-love and you're consistent with it and you amplify it, it teaches you that healing can be linear, because when you love yourself, you choose the very best for yourself and nothing less. Even when you're in moments and seasons of your life where you're so irritated, you're like, actually, I know I can control my reality to the best of my abilities. Let me get back on track. That is what self-love does for you. Self-love is the motivation you need when actual motivation is not there. The 6-week gathering that I have created that allows us to traverse all the different types of ways self-love can, command beauty within our life for each week happens is going to teach you that perfect truth that you are the creator of your reality. And if you just love yourself, everything starts to fall in alignment, and it all starts from within. And so here are the 6 things that you're going to take in to help you realize why self-love is so important, and hopefully get you in gear and get you on board with loving yourself more than enough so that everything around you can follow suit. Okay, that's how self-love does things. Once you get this together, everything else can get together. That's how self-love is. The first thing, like I said, you want to be mindful of your intentions with self-love. Why do you want to love yourself? What is the importance of self-love to you? And it's going to be different for everybody around you, but what is important to you? Me personally, I am Venetian, so I do like material things when it comes to showing myself love. But most importantly, self-love is allowing me to be the being that I desire in every season of my life, to love myself no matter what I look like, feel like, act like, think like, to not sell myself short or settle for less, and make sure I'm setting my boundaries, being myself, and expressing my highest truth no matter what. That is what self-love means to me. And so in the comments down below, below if you can do this for me. I'll absolutely positively love it. If you can go in the comments down below and you know, answer what self-love means to you, I would love it. I would love to read it, okay? Because I want to see if our like views are different, if it's the same, what? Because I haven't asked that question before. So the second thing that is going to teach you the importance of self-love is self-awareness and mindfulness. When you are aware of how you're moving, how you're acting, what is cultivating in your realm, you know how to be intentional to change it, cultivate it, or transform it. What this does for you is make sure that you're no longer stagnant and you're not letting years go by without changing, or you're not letting people step over you, or you're not letting people tell you what's the truth. You're intentional, you're remaining in the present moment, and this allows you to transform your life whenever things go awry. And so that's why I teach when it comes to self-work, self-love, mindfulness, and awareness. Because when you are not mindful and you are not aware, not only do you hurt yourself, but you hurt other people, and that is something that you probably do not want to do. And so the second week within our gathering, we learn about mindfulness and intentionality. We learn how to get off of autopilot and start being present in every single moment of the day, so that when we find things that irk us, we tap into self-love and we show our self-love in those ways. And so the way that I teach this to you guys is through shadow work. I teach it through, you know, we're going to have an actual shadow work session that is going to allow us to move in more ways than one. And this shadow work session is not going to really be focusing on your mental too much. It's going to be focusing on your spiritual and emotional, because we do have shadow work sessions for thinking and releasing limiting beliefs, but we also need shadow work sessions for expressing. And that's what a lot of people don't realize that shadow work is for expressing yourself as well. So we're going to be doing that with those shadow work sessions. We're also going to be learning the art of detachment, which allows you to not take things personally, especially when people hurt or harm you in ways that it's completely out of character or completely off the wall for them. Like, you know, you didn't do anything, so why are you taking it out on me? You're going to learn not to take that personally, and you're going to learn how to move accordingly because you're no longer taking things personally. And lastly, you're going to be learning self-compassion, and that is the key catalyst behind everything. Not only self-compassion, right, but compassion for everybody else around you. You're going to start having more empathy and sympathy and start seeing people for who they are and recognizing, oh yeah, they're not talking to me, they're talking to themselves. And you're going to move accordingly, okay? And so that's what we're going to be really tapping into the second week of our gathering, and I am super excited for that, because that is literally what we need to transform our lives. The next thing that is extremely important in self-love, which I think a lot of people will probably be excited for, is the emotional side of self-love, right? We got to make sure that we're feeling it internally, and that our physical body and our emotional body is like this in order for self-love to be cultivated. And so within this week, we are gathering together to learn about self-forgiveness, self-compassion, and self-love. This week is all going to be focused on how to set boundaries for ourselves, to let go of people pleasing. This week we're going to learn about how to set boundaries in a way that does not only harm you but harm others, and do so in a way where you are not going to feel guilty for doing so, because oftentimes it is our guilt that tries to hinder us from succeeding and tapping into self-love, but we got to break free of that, and that's going to take some willpower. The next thing that's really important in learning about self-love, self-compassion, self-kindness is nurturing the body. We need to make sure that our physical vessel is in tandem with every single thing that we desire and every single thing that we want, right? And so week 3 of 4, I kind of lost the number, but week 3 of 4 within our gathering, we're literally are going to create physical rituals, spiritual rituals, emotional rituals for an everyday basis that allows us to tap into self-love every single day. One of the main questions I get about self-love, or about anything in any capacity, especially when it comes to spirituality, is like, how can you sustain this lifestyle? In what ways can I tap into my spiritual practice every single day so I can feel like a spiritual baddie? And I'm going to actually teach that in that course, in that gathering, so you can learn how to do so. And one of the ways you can do that is literally going to the altar if you have one. You can also journal out like what you want this day to be presented to as for you. You can also like really tapping into meditation and doing energy work. Like, I'm going to be speaking on a lot of different methods that is going to allow you to physically nurture the body that you're occupying in this moment. I like to think of our physical vessels as avatars, and we take care of the avatars in our game as we see fit, right? Because we're the controller of our reality. So as you nurture your body, your mind is going to kind of like follow suit, or I should say, once you nurture your mind, your body is going to follow suit, and using both of those in tandem just kind of creates a very beautiful self-love energy and container that you do not want to miss out on. So that's another thing that is very important and why you should learn about self-love, because now you can physically get into gear in the ways that you desire and in the ways that you want. And this one is my favorite one. Like, this one I'm super excited for because I am Venetian, and one of the main key components that really inspired this course was the fact that I am Venetian, or Venusian, however you say the word, right? And so week 5, we are going to learn how to build a self-love toolkit that allows us to make sure that we're constantly and utterly taking care of our vessels, okay? And so the self-love kit is going to be, for one day, we literally focus on ourselves. We focus on nobody else but ourselves. And I think this is going to be very fun to create, especially as a person who has a lot of Taurus and Libra placements, because I've been wanting to create a self-care day that is really tailored to everything I want. And so in this gathering this week, we're going to be discussing why it's important to do so, as well as what you should add within your self-care day that is going to allow you to transform and start the week on a good note if you decide to do it on Sunday, or, you know, keep you going throughout the week, right? Because if we don't take care of ourselves completely and utterly, it can be very hard to stay on track with whatever we desire, right? Not only are we going to learn how to create a beautiful ritual that week, we're also going to learn how to embrace that ritual, because oftentimes we're scared to take care of ourselves. We're scared to think that we deserve to take care of ourselves, but we are not. We deserve to do so. And I'm super excited for this one, because not only am I going to be teaching you all that, I'm also going to be teaching you some spells and rituals. So we're going to get very witchy, very spiritually. So if you're the type of person who likes to do like love rituals and love spells, or just spells in general, this one is going to be for you. That's going to be your favorite week. And the homework we're going to do is going to be very good. No writing on this one. We're actually just going to have fun this time. And then also, when it comes to self-love, you need to learn how to continue the journey. You want to make sure that this is a lifestyle change, not just a moment in time where you're loving yourself and then all of a sudden you hate yourself and then all of a sudden you love yourself. Like, that's to give you whiplash. That'll give you whiplash. You want consistency. You want growth. You want constant change and transformation as you keep riding the wave and keep going ahead towards your desires. And so that is what we're going to be learning the final week: how to continue the journey, how to be consistent with our self-love rituals, how to be disciplined within our self-love rituals, how to gain the willpower in moments that we cannot have it. Because when we do not use our self-love rituals when they're needed the most, particularly in those moments where we feel like the world is crashing around us, why do we have them? We don't use them only for the good times. We got to use it for all times. And so, yeah, like, that is what self-love is all about. That is why it's so important to do so. And when you break it down that way, it makes it easier for you to continue to do it in ways that are tangible to you and beneficial for you. I want you guys to recognize and make sure that you keep moving forward in ways that is going to help you manifest your desires. And the number one way is to work on your self-concept. Work on how you view yourself. Work on how you love yourself. Work on how you're expressing your love, how you're setting boundaries, how you're being yourself, how you're deserving things. Because when we love ourselves, what essentially we are doing is tapping into our truths, and the truth of the mind, soul, and body. And so since we now know our truth, every step we take, every move we make is in alignment with that truth. And so we would never feel confused again, because now we know ourselves. We know how important we are. We know how loving we are. We know how compassionate we are. And honestly, there is no reason why you shouldn't work on self-love. There's no reason why you don't deserve self-love. You deserve self-love because you are you, love. And so since you are you, you need to love yourself. You are a unique expression of the divine. You are a unique expression of the universe. And I want you to make sure that you know that. And so that is why I created this 6-week course for you to transform your life for the better in whatever way you see fit. And I really hope that I can see you guys in this beautiful container that is really going to transform our lives for the foreseeable future. Okay, and so if this has interested you in any way, what you can do is go to the description box and click on This Is My World applicant form. It is free to fill out because we are launching this course July 12th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if you are signed up to my newsletter, you get it at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? And you signing this applicant form makes sure I know that you're ready for this. This is something that you're truly wanting to do. And also make sure that the people that we're we're communing with are very intentional and loving and know how to really move in a sacred space filled with people who are going to be vulnerable, who are going to be open, and who are ready to transform. All right. And so that is how I'm going to do this, gathering this time around. I remember the first time I did a workshop of this nature, it was really fun. Everybody had enjoyed it. So now I want to try it this way, making sure that I'm intentional with those beings that I picked to join my course. Okay. And for the first 3 people who are accepted into this course, you guys get 50% off of your entire gathering, your entire workshop. Like, I'm so excited for this. Not only are we going to be communing together for 6 weeks every single day, okay, that's 6 weeks every single day, we're also going to be, you guys also will receive a very beautiful trinket box that is going to be designed by me, handmade by me. Like, it's going to be beautiful. Some of you guys will get grinders. I'm going to put face masks in there, cute little tote bags, cute little journals. Like, it's going to be one for the books. I really wanted this to be all about self-love, Venetian energy, tapping into the soul, and utilizing it for your benefit. So like I said before, if you're interested, go to the link down below in the description box, click on This Is My World applicant form, fill it out. You will get responded to if you have, been accepted into the course, or you're going to be saved for the next time within 3 to 5 business days. And once you want to make sure you get your spot just like that, because once it's gone, it is gone. Okay. All right. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining this video and listening to me ramble about self-love. This is a very important topic to me. Like, I don't play when it comes to self-love. That's like one of the first things I've done when I went into my spiritual practice, in addition to manifesting and connecting with my ancestors. I was like, I need to love myself, because I realized I don't love myself in the way I should. And once I did, everything started to kind of just go. I stopped tolerating bullshit. I set boundaries. I've been myself ever since. So yeah, if you are ready to transform, make sure you keep up with this. And in the meantime, before this course launch, you can sign up for my newsletter and you'll get a free ebook with that. And if you do the applicant form, you receive a free affirmation ebook all about self-love, and it's going to have a lot of things about self-love. So you get a lot of goodies this time around. This course doesn't officially start until July 31st. But we're gonna get in gear way before that, right? So guys, let me know in the comments down below, are you excited for this course? Is this something you would do? And what things are you ready to learn about this course once you have joined? And also make sure you answer that journal prompt I told you guys to answer, right? Thank you so much for watching and taking in this information. I'll see you in the next one. And I want to make sure that my angel fairies have a beautiful, gorgeous, abundant day. Bye, loves. Mwah.